my sexy Dexter fans. So, oh my gosh, I'm so tense from the last episode. Do the Wrong Thing was full of all kinds of very interesting wrongs. Let me just put this in one word for you. Kinky, for one thing. That is what is freshest in my mind. It was really painful for me. This was a really hard episode. Like, I'm just all tense and kind of weird right now because there is okay, trying to gather all my thoughts together. And also, just FYI, for those of you who watch my music videos, I have been slacking on those out of sheer busyness with school, so I completely apologize. I'm going to be working to get some more music out to you guys very soon, post midterms. And spoiler alert, as I delve into this exciting mid-season episode of Dexter, and this was just, like I said, just a really hard episode. It was good. I am not going to say it was bad. It was definitely good. This entire season has been so rich and just really electrifying, and each episode has been good in its own way. And this was a really painful sort. There was really, for me personally, there was very little relief. I'm just going to put this out there for one thing. A couple of the things that pain me the most in this episode, and like I've warned in previous vlogs, I kind of go out of order with this stuff, so do forgive me as I kind of hopscotch my way across this shindig. But for one thing, I was really pained by Batista's current situation, and it just really broke my heart. You know, he's looking to break free from his past at Miami Metro and pick up a restaurant. And, you know, it was beautiful because there was an opportunity for some reconciliation between him and Deborah after the whole situation of Mike Anderson's murder and her having to put him down, which was really painful as well. And so it was really sweet how Deborah was so kind to him and nurturing of this dream, even after, you know, Quinn kind of blew him off because he's got his own stuff to deal with. And then, of course, Masuka's like, everyone who retires, like, dies in 5 years, you know. Gotta love that little, the comical refreshment of Masuka. That was, like, very much needed. But, it's just so hard because he is, like, the one sane mind at Miami Metro right now. Quinn's in hot water. Dexter's in hotter water. As is Deborah and LaGuerta, and just everyone is just churning this this cauldron of chaos right now, okay? And Batista seems to be the only person on the outside of that, just really trying to look back and solidify himself. So it's really painful to think that he might peace out. I'm really hoping that's not the case. I feel that they're working to develop something interesting with him in this season, and so I'm not sure where he's gonna go, but please, Batista, don't leave me, because I will die, because I am so pained and just, like, constipated with emotion right now, okay? Don't leave me hanging. And then the whole Dexter and Deborah interaction, this episode was extremely painful as compared to Swim Deep was really exploring an intimacy and a drawing together between them. You know, for me, I personally am okay with a romantic relationship between them, and so I was seeing a lot of those elements in their interactions. But, you know, for others, it's as their brother and sister connection, and there's definitely a certain hit that was taken this episode, in case you were wondering. So, as we all kind of saw coming, the whole situation between Hannah and Dexter is ever escalating, as it was the entire episode. In fact, most of the episode was dedicated to the growth and intertwining of Hannah and Dexter. And it was just so hard to watch because everything that they said to one another was so loaded, and just like, you know, their dark passengers were just sitting ever so slightly behind everything that they said. And so it was just like, ooh, man. and the sexual tension, of course, erupted into arguably the most kinky sex scene that we have witnessed ever since the days of Lila in season 2. It was, I know a lot of people are like, ooh, yeah, like they're gonna get it on, and we kind of sense that coming. A lot of people were supportive of that. I mean, Ivana Strahovski, Hannah McKay, she's hot, she's got a cool intrigue about her. It was just so, that scene was so sacrilegious, just like, I knew that he wasn't going to kill her, because of a certain promo that I saw recently, and there were scenes that I thought was going to take place with Hannah that hadn't yet, and so I was like, okay, obviously he's not going to kill her, I think it was that whole, she kind of set him off with that whole, like, do what you gotta do, bad boy, that whole thing. It's like, okay, taking my pants off, and it was just, it's just really hard. I'm really, really nervous about Dexter's entry into this relationship, and it's very much different from any relationship that he's had before. I mean, I could see how people could kind of read a certain, like, Lila craziness into it, or, a Lumen sort of neediness. Not really sensing any kind of Rita elements here, but their relationship is very different, and so I think it's going to be interesting to watch it unfold, but I'm just nervous, especially as Deborah is starting to figure out what the crime writer Price is kind of digging into as far as things go with Hannah McKay. Deborah is going to find out that Dexter has hidden more from her than she even previously thought in the midst of this case, and so things are gonna get hairy. And it was really interesting. Just poor Deborah, she's just really hurting in this episode, and she's kind of Batista's whole dream of buying this restaurant kind of inspires her to take up this Price guy on his offer of a date. Her and Dexter are kind of trying to get out there in different ways, and I don't see a long-term relationship between Deborah and Price. I think he's kind of an interesting catalyst for her discoveries about Hannah, but more of a tool than anything else. I think it's kind of evident that she's still grappling with her feelings for Dexter, especially with how angry she got at him when he came over to her house to discuss the events of season 5, the whole Jordan Chase Barrel Girls issue, and Deborah finally makes the connection about what Dexter was really doing that entire time immediately following Rita's death. And I think it was a really smart move on the writer's part to include those allusions and to make those connections, because a lot of people, I think people either love season 5 or they hated it. Due to the presence of Lumen and just kind of the interactions that were revolving around her. But there was controversy about that season, but I'm glad that the writers didn't just play it off and pretend that, oh, that was just a thing, and they're just gonna leave that hanging. So I'm really glad that she figured that out, but it was so hard, like Dexter's like, just go out, like relax, stop worrying about this stuff, worry about yourself, go on a date, and she's like, get out, done. And I think that just kind of hurt her in a way, just kind of those feelings are still about, and I feel that the writers are still going to explore them. I'm not really sure exactly what that's going to look like in light of Dexter's connection with Hannah, and I'm not really sure, if she's going to dive into a purely romantic liaison with our dear Dexter. I think it's pretty evident that she has a dark passenger at this point, and that it is active or interested in being active. I don't freaking know. This is just so hard. And then just to kind of clarify other elements of this episode, of course, we knew that the whole Dirty Cop Quinn thing was going to be brought back to the surface, and he is on extremely thin ice here, trying to figure out how to protect Nadia, just how to get all of his ducks in a row and keep himself from getting burned, keep Nadia safe, and I have a very strong feeling that he's gonna get burned in this deal, despite what he tries to work out with Mr. George of the Koshka Brotherhood. I don't think that things are going to go so well for him. The best laid schemes of mice and men go often askew, so we'll see what's gonna happen with him. I have a feeling it's not going to end very well. And then, of course, our dearly beloved big bad of the season, Isaac Sirko, is behind bars, but he continues to assert himself as much as ever. As anxious as I am about his more than likely release from prison, due to, you know, the testifying about the blood work and, you know, his acts being in self-defense, you know, as nervous as I am about that, I am excited because he's a very intriguing sort of foe. I'm really digging what he has to offer this season, so I'm ready to see him come back out and play around on his home turf. So, and he's got all the right friends in all the right places, so after he kind of uses them to get up and over the fence, he's going to try and finish what he started, as he promised Dexter. So, what else am I missing? Of course, LaGuardia is continuing on in the Bay Harbor Butcher case, and that's where we get the whole re-emergence of the Bear Girls case, and Deborah is trying to protect Dexter in the midst of it. Again, I can't stop harping on this. I'm sorry, but you know, I am extremely nervous just about the fate of Dexter and Deborah in the midst of all of this. A minor spoiler alert for a certain teaser that I saw. Deborah is going to be encountering Hannah at some point, and I think given what she finds out from Price, she is not going to be so happy, and she's going to be doing everything in her power to get Hannah to skedaddle her pretty little self out of her and Dexter's lives. So, very interested to see how that's going to go. Also, I have to say, I laughed really hard when the scene after Dexter rather forcefully asks Hannah out, and he gets back into his car, and just the look that Harry gives him is just like, the fuck? Like, what are you doing? I think that was pretty much perfect, because I was kind of right there. I was like, oh, Dexter, you don't even see, like, what you're doing, what you're getting yourself into. Again, that ending was a very bold choice. And I suppose if I was in favor of the Dexter and Hannah relationship, I would just be like, hot damn. But I have just such mixed feelings. Like, I was just like physically in pain at the end of that episode. I was just like, help, I can't. You know, we're reaching that really rocky turf in the season, you know, where everything is just kind of breaking down and everyone is skating on extremely thin ice with extremely sharp skates. And some people are going to start falling through the cracks very soon. So I'm trying to think of what else I forgot. I feel like I've forgotten a lot of stuff, but my mind is kind of swimming in all of this. What did you guys think? Did you like this episode? How would you rate the episode so far? Which one is your favorite and why? At this point, I still Run and Swim Deep are among my favorite episodes. I think that we're in for a lot of exciting twists in the near future here. Where'd we go from here? Everybody's doing the wrong thing, it seems like. Oh my gosh, and just all these attempts to set things right. Everybody is just kind of going awry, and it makes me nervous, and I'm just like, please, everyone, don't die. I'm really excited to see Harrison return. I really feel like he is an anchor in Dexter's life, and it's going to give him a little bit of perspective after all these things that have been changing so drastically lately. And another spoiler alert for an upcoming episode. It is in episode 8, Argentina, where we see the return of Aster. And I'm not sure about Cody, but it's possible. I've just seen screen caps of Aster and Dexter on the beach. So I'm really excited to see Dexter reconnect with his kids. You know, just to see Dexter as father return, because he's kind of been very distracted. He's very insistent that he needs a kill. He's, you know, understandably so, he's under a lot of stress, and when he's under stress, he needs that relief of a kill. Kind of like what happened at the very beginning of the season when he killed Victor. So, lots of places where this can go. I am frustrated, but this was a good episode. I did not dislike it by any means. It's just, you know, they didn't give us any relief, and I am just begging for some here. So let me know what you guys thought. I'm gonna keep the videos coming on this channel, and welcome to all the new subscribers. Mwah, my blessings upon you. So if you agree with me, disagree, whatever, let me know. I'm totally up for arguing in a friendly manner, of course. I'm totally up for debating theories and what's happened, you know. Lots of interesting stuff. Lots of interesting stuff. I am dragging this out, so I'm going to go. Have a marvelous day. And I will be back next week, if not sooner. Ciao, my friends.